Alright guys, we are going to start back on the self-love readings because I'm noticing a lot of people are going through a whole lot of stuff. This was a video I used to do once a week, every week, to help people find self-love and different activities and see what they needed to focus on and what Spirit was calling them to. Now I did quit that for a while. Because I wasn't in the right space at the time. But I'm really feeling being called back to go back to this now. There are a lot of divine counterparts that have came back into union and are now separating again. And it's going to be hard for them, and the reason why they separate is because there's a lesson they have to learn without their twin so that they don't hurt each other again. So we are going to get back into this and we're going to read this, but I just want you to know, whether you're in separation or whether you are together, whether you're talking, whether you're friends, separation is not real. Your twin is always with you. You're always with your twin. All right. Let's see what we need to focus on ourselves for this week. Turn off your shadow box. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these and then make it super fast so you don't got to wait on me. Okay. All right, so here we go. We got turn off your shadow box. One of the biggest obstacles we face on the quest to making this our best year actually lives inside our own minds. Most of us experience a dulge of negative chatter on a daily basis that reminds us of our weakness and reinforces us of our limitations. For example, I shouldn't have said that. I really blew it this time. God, I look awful today. I'm never going to make it, and I'm not smart, rich, pretty, skinny, important enough to whatever it is that you want. Does any of this charming self-talk sound familiar? Rather than talking this negative chatter personally, I refer to it as our shadow box. Like a loud and obnoxious boom box that disturbs our peaceful slumber at the beach, our shadow box repeats the same messages over and over again. The good news is that each of us has a choice to listen to this boombox, to believe its limiting messages and follow its marching orders, or to simply shut it off and place our attention on something more life-affirming. This week when you, okay, so this is your assignment. This week when you hear the internal dialogue chattering away about your limitations or your poor lot in life, say to yourself, aha, I'm being visited by my shadow box, and rather wasting any of your time or energy listening to it, analyzing it, or bargaining with it, tell it to leave you alone. And then distinguish it for what it is. A recording that's played the same song more times than you can remember. Your assignment this week is to recognize that you're the one who chooses to listen to it. You're also the one who has the power to turn it off. Okay. You got embracing worthiness. I feel worthiness, feeling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. Welcoming surrender. There is no problem or destiny. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Processing grief. My losses prove how deeply I loved. And polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. Yeah, as I tell everybody, the biggest step to healing is allowing yourself and knowing that you are allowed to feel something. You don't have to shut off all of your emotions just because it might irritate someone else's demons. You have the right to your own voice because you are worthy enough and you are allowed to have feelings. Acceptance. See yourself as others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. Strength. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. And I have a feeling whoever really needs to hear this one this week, it's this strength, the battles that you've went through. Because, I mean, look at this angel right here. This angel looks tired as shit. Their horse has red eyes. Or their Pegasus, whatever. His wings look tattered and frayed. So this is someone who's been through the battle. And it's in the battle that you learn true self-love and true unconditional love. So I think that's how you're going to help lift everybody else up. It's only when you've went through something do you have the ability to show others the way out and inspire them, showing them that you are proof that it's possible to make it through something. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Homeward. Take yourself out on a date. This is someone who's hermiting, but who's not hermiting at the same time. It's like they're finding who they are. Maybe they are personal, or right now doing their personal self-love and self-healing and working on their self. Oneness is my true nature, which means you won't hurt anybody else because you know what it feels like to be hurt, because you feel like we're all one. But in the same manner, you have to learn I can't hurt myself because I am just as valuable as the next person. You know, I want everybody I love to have love and have all these things that they want in their life. And when we wish that on others to be in true oneness, we have to feel that we are deserving and worthy of it ourselves. And that's hard for a lot of people, to feel like they are worthy of love. Especially, if they've grew up and, never really felt it without conditions. I'll love you if, I'll love you when, I'll love you only during this time. If you love someone, you're going to put in and love someone all the time. It's not going to come with conditions. Love doesn't come with conditions. Love says, I love you, whether you can do something for me or not. If you love someone based solely on them being able to do something for you, that's when you cross over a little bit into the codependency part. I'll love you if you can buy me a big fancy house, or, balance the checkbook, or I'll love you if you can make a nice fancy dinner for me to eat when I come home. I'll love you if you can fulfill my sexual desires. I'll love you if you make me feel good about myself. I'll love you if you fulfill this or this or this or this or this. That's not love. That's codependency. That's a need outside of self that you are asking someone else to fulfill. And sometimes people aren't able to fulfill that, but that doesn't mean that they aren't worthy of your love. That doesn't mean that you're not being loved if they can't fulfill that. It just means sometimes people aren't perfect, or sometimes people make mistakes. And that's why we have to learn inside of ourselves. We have to be whole with us. We have to heal us. We have to heal us first, because to put all the pressure on someone else is really, really hard. And that's one of the things a lot of the twins are learning right now, or at least that's what I've been getting a lot of downloads recently. It's been making me really tired too. And just, I don't know, just recently I've just wanted to blank out. I feel like there's just so much stress right now that I just want to be blank. I don't know how to explain that. Like, I feel everything, I just feel blank. Or I don't know, my mind just goes blank. I can't explain it. It's like an overload of stress. And I'm going to say that I'm going to say this. I mean, I can feel that because I'm not the one in the overload of stress. Yeah, I have a lot of stress and I worry about a lot of things. But as a Virgo, my mama always says to me every time something bad happens, she always used to say growing up, it's a good thing that you prepared for the worst. That you always prepared for the worst. But that's who I am and what I am. You know, if I feel like something bad's going to happen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to prepare for it. And so what I'll do is I'll like put all this stuff out on the table of, you know, the things that could go wrong. But I try not to stress out. To me, the way that I am, the way that I keep stress away is to put all the bad out on the table. Then I can see it. And then I can work on it one thing at a time. Now, me knowing myself, I know a lot of other people probably that probably would stress the shit out of them. Because they'd be like, oh my God, I have all this stuff now. And then I'm like, oh, well, we just have all this stuff. And it's just, you know, we got a while to work on it. You know, it's just figure it out beforehand. And you can take one thing here, one thing here, one thing here. So it doesn't all blow up at one time. So in my mind, I'm preparing so that there's not a big, huge blow up in tower moment. Because me, myself, if I don't know all the small bad details or whatever, I do end up blowing up if I'm not aware, because I hate surprises. Like, I am not that girl that gets excited about surprise parties or anything like that. I hate surprises. I like to know what's going on, when things are going on. I am that boring person that just likes to be. If I see a problem, I like to put it out so I can think of all the different ways that I can fix it or that heal it or whatever. But anyways, back to the point. So I don't know. I just told you that whole story. Maybe you are like me and you like to see all the trouble that's coming, and then you like to go through slowly and check it all off. Or maybe you're the person who likes to have complete peace all the time and then have everything blow up all at once, and you can handle that level of stress. Some people have the ability to handle that level of stress all at once. I don't. I do not. I have a mouth, so sometimes when I hit that level of stress, I end up apologizing, so to speak. And sometimes I'll have to, if I hit that level of stress, I'll have to apologize, and then it may be later that night or whatever, talk it out and figure it out, you know, just even if you had to have some space, and you just come back and you work it out, because that's what love is. Love says we have all these problems, but we are both important. And we need to work together to fight the problem, not fight each other over the problem. And if we lay the problems out on the table, we can see what the problems are. And so then we can work together to slowly fix the problems. Now, I know that a lot of twin flames, they're going to be triggering the living shit out of each other. And it's because Spirit is preparing them for what's coming. There's so much bad in this world. The light workers are being called to step up. And so they might get triggered a little bit more than normal, which is causing, again, a clash in between the twins right now. I feel it. I'm not in separation from my twin. We still talk. We're communicating right now. We were in separation for 2 years. But we are in communication. So, but I still feel right now, the pain of the separation. And it's because either one or both of the twins have another lesson to learn in self-love. It doesn't make either one bad. It doesn't make either one right. It just means that there is more healing that they both have to do. But either way, you can't forget, you always have the chance to go back and rewrite the story. If something scares you, you have the ability to heal it and fix it and then change the story. Okay, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. Yeah, because all you have to do to change your world is to change your mind. You can literally wake up in the morning and be like, I think I'm just going to move to Antarctica today. I'm not suggesting do that, and I'm not saying that's in the cards. That was just, being sarcastic. Okay, so, unless you actually are moving to Antarctica, but, that'd be very rare. But this is saying, what you think about, you bring about. If what you focus on is the positive and the uplifting things, then what you're going to bring about is going to be a vibrational match to that energy. If you are thinking positive, you are going to have positive attracted to you. That is how we manifest. We're just going to go there. Okay. I welcome joy, which is good because this is us changing our thoughts to positive. Okay. Okay, so you have purpose and meaning. When I experience doubt and dismay, I will welcome resurgence of faith and conviction. I allow my life to be tidal. I allow my life to fill and empty according to the plan higher than I might have naturally perceived. So this is saying, if a twin has to go, or if your person has to go, that doesn't mean they're not coming back. It may mean they just need a little time to cool off. It may mean they need a little space so that they can do self-healing. It may mean that they just need a safe place, knowing that they are still loved by you, that they can go fix them and come back. The Symphony of Life. Spirit is the great conductor. I am given my cues. There is no need for haste. There is no place in me for impatience. Delays and detours to my limited visions are actually the perfect path and whole unfolding to higher I. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes the ones who can lay everything out, they see all the things, but that doesn't mean that it has to be done right here, right now, right here, right now. It means that that's where you're learning patience. That's where you're learning how to just be. You see the problem, And you work on it until you are able to heal it. And healing has no time limit, has no whatever. But I'm going to say this, guys, if you are a twin flame, there is a lot of healing to be done. And the healing is to be done because you are going to be called to be the one that has the strength. You're going to be called to be the one that's going to be able to guide others to where they need to be, especially when the dark night of the soul comes upon them, because the next season of twin flames are about to awaken. They're supposed to awaken all the way up to 2024. And when they hit the ego death in the dark night of the soul, if you have already went through that, you know how bad it is. When I went through it, I went from the happiest person to being like at the top of the world to I didn't even want to wake up in the morning. I cried for months on end. Every time I did a twin reading, I would bawl my eyes out. You guys know. I literally had to go back and take off some of my videos because I was like, I can't post that. I'm crying. I'm crying too much. It's because it's so overwhelming, and when you're going through it, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't see everything because it's like everything hits you all at once and you're dropped to your knees. It's the thing that I hate. Like if you put everything all at once and tell me I have to fix it right now, it'll drop me. And it took a while for me to be able to climb out of that state. A long while. And this is what the twins are preparing for. Some of them, their trial, I just heard some of the twins, their next test is patience. Because they're going to be the ones that teach the ones that are in separation that patience can prove that in the end it works. If you don't go through it, you would be like, don't wait on them, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't hold space for someone, don't do this, don't do that. If you were patient and had faith, you would feel different. And so I think that's one of the ones that the twins are learning right now. A faithful guide. My heart guides me tenderly and truly. I find ways through the wilderness. My heart finds path through the desert. My heart is valiant and wise. My heart senses the truth and offers compassion in times of conflict. My heart has patience. Yeah, patience. That's the one we're working on right now. My heart has humility. It is fully human, and fully divine. Okay, so the two cards you got here is Lost in Space, Needing Direction, and the Watchers. So what Spirit's saying here is that in the times that you're lost, look up to the Watchers who are watching over you, your spirit guides, your angel. I meant to say animal, but I guess angel as well. Your angel are protecting you, and you can pay attention to the animal spirits because they all teach something different as well. Spirit will show you your path if you ask. All right, I'm going to tell this story again. Long time ago, I was told this trick. Ask the divine. Ask the divine. Is this my twin flame? Is this my true person? Is this my path where I'm supposed to be? In my darkest hour, I wasn't sure if it'd work or not. But I had faith and I had trust. And what it was explained to me is if you want the true answer, ask the divine to show you something that is the most random something that you do not see all the time. Like, it has to be something that you don't see every single day. And I asked to see a rainbow wolf or dog, so to speak. Wolf is a dog, in the same spirit animal. And for a week, I was like, I started to doubt, and I was like, maybe I was wrong. I was like, because surely by now Spirit would have shown this to me if this was my person. And it was when I started to doubt and I let go of the expectations that maybe I was wrong and maybe I was crazy. I kid you not, I seen rainbow dogs everywhere. And every single day since then, something has came up every day to show me who my twin is. Whether it be his name, whether it be someone that looked exactly like him, or I would walk into a store and literally every person there was his height. And from the back, I would kind of imagine that's what he would. Anyways, there was always something. God always confirmed it to me, even as much as this. And if you don't know, twin flames always have a symbol, a beacon. It's like it's a symbol that one of the twin flames is telling the other one, I love you. Be strong. Oh my gosh. Be strong. I need you to find the strength. I need you to find the strength because I'm going to have to go through this next, and I will need you to have strength for me. Right now, I'm having strength for you, even though I may not show it in the 3D. Have faith because you feel it in the 5D. And you will feel your twin flame. Whenever you fully awaken to the journey, you will feel them. The weirdest thing. And one of the weirdest things, sometimes you will hear them. I kid you not, the first time I ever had the telepathic communication come through, when I was trying to see how it worked, and I wasn't really sure if it actually worked, I kid you not, I thought someone screamed over the loudspeaker at the store that I was at, or the shelves were about to start falling down. And I was like, did you guys just hear that? And they were like, no. Are you crazy? And I was like, obviously. And I couldn't. It was scary. As I tell all people, every time you get a new spiritual gift, it's going to scare you. And then after that, sometimes it just gets annoying because when you're... we won't go into that. Anyways, you guys will find that part out. It's nothing that's going to hurt you. It's just going to be comical. Okay, so we're manifestation cards. I will tell my story as I want it to be. Yeah, the story again. Are you the villain or are you not? If you let your dominant intention be to revise and improve the content of your story you tell every day of your life, it is our absolute promise to you that your life will become that ever-improving story. For by the powerful law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. It must be. Okay, and the cards that we had were Ten of Air in reverse, which is good. You've got the Eight of Fire and you've got balance. Okay, so this is someone who, this is someone who could possibly be wanting to give up, but they're not. They're holding on and they're having strength. See in the middle here, it doesn't matter which way which way it's told, it's still one. And when this is in reverse, there's still time that has to pass. Maybe there is still divine timing being played at work, because when this is in reverse, the sand is upright. So there could be patience that still has to be done. Okay, the Eight of Fire talks about communication. This one, what I'm getting intuitively from this one is, it's not only Divine Feminine, this part's for you, because you are usually the spiritual one. You're the one that's going to be looking up. As I say, the twin makes the triangle. Like in every tarot card, you have the divine, the masculine, and the feminine. I'm actually going to show this so that everybody sees what I'm talking about. If you have been on my channel for a while, you've heard me say this, but if you, this is just for the ones who haven't. You see this communication and this that's going up, Divine Feminine, that's your job. Okay? You see here, the divine. The feminine is looking where? In the Lovers, the happy part. The divine. The divine is in pouring out blessings onto the masculine. And then the masculine looks at the feminine. It's not, most of the times, when the masculine has not received his blessings, he will have a hard time looking at the feminine. He will be in fear. He will be looking at anything else besides his feminine. When the masculine has his blessings, usually he looks to the feminine. And it's the feminine who looks up to God and prays for these blessings for them both. And then the blessings pour down on the masculine. And the masculine, they work together. Like, the feminine is the one that has the faith. The feminine will be the one that manifests when they are together. Now, if anyone is out of order, if the masculine isn't looking and loving the feminine, it's going to break that part there. So the masculine will reap all of the rewards, but the feminine will not. Now, when it breaks otherwise, when the feminine is not looking and communicating with spirit and having faith and having trust, then she's out of alignment and the blessings never pour down on the masculine. It all has to work together. And sometimes someone gets afraid. The masculine doesn't have enough money, or what he feels like is stability, that it won't feel that bad to the feminine in that case, in that theory. That part won't scare the feminine. What will scare the feminine is if the masculine runs. That's why when the Devil card shows up, it's because the feminine is no longer looking up and praying to the spirit, which we don't want to pray to that spirit anyways, is no longer looking up and praying to the divine. She is in the fear mindset, and she's afraid her masculine is going to be gone, so she is staring at her masculine. And the masculine is doing whatever he's doing. And instead of blessings, the Devil is lighting the masculine's fire, his ass on fire, because he is in the fear mindset. Now what changes this is to have faith. Okay? To have faith that the star, the actual Star of David, not the pentagram star, but the Star of David, makes the triangle. The triangle the Star of David, there's two triangles. There's as above, one that points up, and so below, one that points down. When our prayers and our faith and our gratitude go up, Spirit pours down the blessing. But there always is, usually in twin flames connection, there's always usually one that has the faith. A lot of times the masculine does not have the faith. A lot of times the masculine won't even realize he's a masculine. In fact, a lot of them will try to deny it until it is obvious and made completely known to them by Spirit. But it won't be until the masculine gets out of his fear, gets out of everything like that, and then everything will fall into place. The more the feminine is in her faith-based. Now remember, the masculine and the feminine are going to mirror each other. If the masculine fears, the feminine's going to fear. So it's going to flip them to the devil card that has shown up numerous times. But right now, this is looking like someone's not walking away, they're standing, which would be the masculine. So the feminine is no longer afraid that the masculine, look, okay. So then it would be like this. The feminine sends her prayers up, right? Which creates balance, which then Spirit can pour out onto the masculine who is not leaving, who could be stuck in divine timing. He may be waiting for his blessings to pour in, but this feminine has got to keep her prayers up. She has got to keep her faith. She has got to believe that there is something coming. She's got to I just heard to control her emotions. I was trying to hear if that's what I heard, but yeah, that's what I heard. Okay, and the card, the oracle card I'm going to read from is Sacred Soul Sister. When you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you're beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you're beyond consciousness, the winter cold feels like spring. And as I said the other day in a reading, it kept coming up, you're going to find your peace in the cold. So probably around the later months of this year. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where the way that I do it so that I don't stress out is I put all of the instability or all the problems right there so that I can pick through each one slowly and heal each one and stuff like that until it is time that I can have all these worked out, because healing is hard and you don't want to do it all at once. You want to be able to do it slowly and do it right so you don't have to redo it again. Okay. This oracle comes with particular guidance also. You know something deep in your bones without knowing how or why or without particular reason. You just know. It doesn't make sense, but you know. It may be joy that you know. It may be that you know to avoid certain situations. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully despite appearances to the contrary at a particular moment. It may be that you are meant to take a certain path. You just know. I'm going to read that part again, because that's how I felt. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully despite appearances to the contrary at a particular moment. So this is Spirit confirming to you, if you are going through the test of fear that this won't work out, or this might not come together, or this won't ever happen this way, or, you know, this or that. This is Spirit saying it doesn't matter what it looks like to you. You can only see through the eyes of a human. You're in the avatar of a human. Spirit's saying, I see through the eyes of the divine, and I see the big picture. He says, when, you know, when it, I just heard, when it's time, I will make the way. I will come when it's time. When you're healed, that's when you will be set. Your path will open up to you. When it's not time, it'll be hard. And that's when it's the time for healing. During the hard, you work through the healing and the hard. And then at the end of it, when it's time, when it's divine timing, God's going to open up this path. For the two hands, look, when you turn it sideways, it looks like an eye. An eye that only God could see. But God can see that the two hands were meant to come together. The card number is 2. The flower there is a symbol of healing and transformation. The dove there is a sign of, with the moon, would be the sign of messages that you don't see, but Spirit does. They are messages from Spirit telling you everything is working out right. It may seem stressful now, but later on down the line, you're going to thank God for unanswered prayers. He's making a way where there was no way. You just have to have faith while He is preparing the way for you. You have to have faith, knowing that if something is like $1 million, but you are meant to do that thing that cost $1 million, that Spirit, it may take some time for Spirit to align everybody, but if it's meant to be, then it will eventually fall into place when it is time. But you have to have faith, and that is on you, because you are given free will to choose as you wish. Do you want what you are meant for? It will call you to walk a harder path. It might be more stressful, but the path is going to be more blessings than most people will have felt. You know, that's like why they say, if it's worth it, it's not going to be easy. You know, there's always going to be something that comes before. You know, just like joy always comes in the morning after the darkness. It's like, you know, when you are irritated at someone, say if you're in a relationship with someone and you're irritated at them, and of course you still go to bed together and you say, you know, I love you. A lot of times when you wake up in the morning, that will be gone. Like joy will come in the morning. It's kind of like releasing all the pain, releasing all the fears, releasing all the anger, releasing all the doubt, releasing all the trouble, and allowing joy to take its place. Because we have so much stuff in our collective that we're working on, especially with like all the trauma and everybody healing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you grew up in a childhood where everything was chaotic, if you meet someone who grew up in a household that was peace and they're calm and they're collective, peace is going to scare you. Someone who's peaceful and calm and not chaotic is going to scare you. It can even possibly feel boring, but that's probably what you needed to level you out. Like the opposite of you will sometimes level you out. Now, if you grew in a household of peace and you meet someone who grew up in a household of chaos, they may seem stressful. they may stress you out. But that person is ultimately going to be the one that brings you the most peace within yourself, because it is only in the chaos can you find peace. And you find peace by being at peace with yourself in the middle of chaos. That's how you level up your peace. So if you're praying for ultimate peace, that's what's going to happen. If you're praying for ultimate peace, you're about to see a whole bunch of struggle, a whole bunch of chaotic stuff, and it's going to be thrown right on your lap. And Spirit is going to say, you want peace? Here. Deal with all of this stuff. Now, when you can have all of this stuff in front of you, when the storm can be raging in front of you and you can calm you, when you can calm your emotions, when you can calm your spirit to peace in the middle of chaos, that is a level of peace that most people don't reach. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the messages that Spirit wanted to have come through. Yeah. We'll get back into this. This one might have been a little longer than the old ones. I don't know. But let's do this. Remember, this week we're focusing on turning off our shadow box, especially if it's in a time of patience. Especially if it's in a time of patience. And we are remembering our worth. When we feel that we are about to be lost, look up to Spirit and find our strength again. And we are surrendering to the acceptance, finding peace within self, that our story that could have been wrote as a villain, we can change at any time, because you are the one who tells your story, no one else. And though it may be chaotic at times, that's where we're learning balance and perfect timing and patience. And that's how in this we will find some of our purpose. God's going to polish our heart. And when He polishes our heart and we feel that joy, I was right back there, then we will see through the eyes of Spirit and not through the eyes of this avatar. We will be able to process grief in the way that it should be done. And all of this will create a balance within us. And the story that we can't see because it seems impossible, Spirit will show us it is possible. One last story, and then I'm going to go. There was this science experiment done on these rats, which when you think about the story is kind of sad, but it's for a purpose. I'm going to tell the story. Okay, so they put these mice in these tub of water, and they had to swim, and they wanted to see how long the mice would fight for their life before they gave up and would sink to the bottom. And then, the scientists would pick them up when they stopped fighting for their life, which is sad. Yeah, I know. But for the point of the story, so the rats would fight for their life, and then they would keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting, and till they started to sink. Now, the scientists found when they timed it, they found whenever they put the mice back in there, after the scientists saved them and pulled them out from this trouble, out from this, and they put them back in that water, those mice never gave up. Never. Like, they did not stop fighting. Like, the scientists literally had to end the experiment because that scientist gave them the hope. It's kind of like sometimes why I want to believe that sometimes in the middle, when we're supposed to be separate for a while, we'll start to doubt, and the Spirit will send our twin back in. Because when He sends our twin back in, it creates this ultimate faith of, I knew I wasn't wrong. This is the path. This is my ultimate sign. This is, I can do this. This is the Spirit speaking to me that I can keep going in the heart of everything, that I will be able to find my strength even when it's hard, when the battle gets tough, when my arms and my legs want to stop fighting. I will still keep going, because I believe that if I don't make it, the Spirit will be there to pick me back up. And that is going to help in the aid of your faith. So as I was saying, whenever you feel that you are unsure or what your path is, look to the divine. And remember all that you've went through in the past, and then fight even longer. And I said that 55 on the clock before I fast forward the beginning. But that's the ultimate change. Something's changing, whether it's you inside, whether it's your twin or your person. If you're not a twin, still just take it as you and the person you're with, or just you in general. Or the situation is going to change, or your faith is going to change, or your mentality is going to change. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys. I hope this helped. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe so you can get more of the next videos that'll come up. We will keep doing these, because obviously if I'm still crying in this reading, obviously there's something in this that I also need to see again, because it's a trigger for me. So yeah, so we will continue on these. Even if it gets hard, we're going to keep going. Alright, that's what I got for you guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Until next time, as always, stay weird. Bye.
Palacios en mi mente, this is God's plan.